Good evening, everyone. I want to talk to you about Mitchell. Mitchell is a father, proud grandfather, and avid active outdoorsman. Now, Mitch retired from the Air Force and began working with the Department of Defense Army as a behavior health therapist. He retired in Hawaii and he moved to Arizona. I mean, he retired in Hawaii and then moved to Arizona in August of 2020 and then moved just a few minutes later. And he did this all during the COVID-19 pandemic. And he's established Counseling Consulting LLC. In 2016, Mitch joined I am not going to pronounce this correctly, Wahihi. And Mitch.
Wahihawa.
Wahihawa. Okay. Pineapple County Toastmasters Club in Hawaii. He has earned his DTM in the Toastmasters International Traditional Education System and was an active District 49 Club growth team. Now, they have moved to Tucson, and where he and his spouse Mary have decided to charter a Toastmasters Club in District 3, Jet Setters. They organize themselves for military and military affiliated individuals who don't want to give up their home club meetings when they're deployed. So, to enhance the attractiveness, they decided to make it open and inclusive for anyone who wants to meet. They are spread from Hawaii, Honolulu, Maryland, United States. It's all over. Now, we're very accepting at Jet Setters of any individual that wants to liberate themselves from the fear of speaking, become a better speaker, or learn how to become an effective leader. Now, I'm going to really quickly just talk about why I asked Mitch to do this tonight. Mitch has a passion, and his passion is mentorship. It is evident in everything he does. Everything from being a mentee himself and accepting mentorship from other people so that he can grow, but as well as giving it unfiltered, unabridged to anyone that wants to come to him for mentorship. And this passion and this joy and how it benefits not only him as a mentor or a mentee, but how it helps other people just shine through like no other. Which is why we have Mitch talking tonight on mentorship. To give you a little housekeeping, we are in a webinar setting, which means we have the chats where you can send it to the panelists or in the bottom. You put a question into it and it comes up on our screen, and I will be feeding all the questions to Mitch so he can just have fun and enjoy the whole situation tonight and tell his story, tell these amazing things. And truly, I hope you get a lot of benefits from this, as I have done in knowing Mitch just this short amount of time. It is just, mentorship just flows off you. That is the only thing I can say. Please welcome Mitch Blocker, DTM.
Good evening, guests and guests. Mentorship. What is a mentor? Any answers? A mentor is someone with knowledge and experience. They are fond of whenever they are able to give it to someone else. They're found everywhere. Was there someone in your life that helped you get started in your career? Offered maybe advice, showing you how things worked and how to get things done? Think about education. Was there a teacher who took special interest and who you think was a positive influence in your life? If you can name 2 people who have made a profound effect on your lives, they will be considered mentors. Mentoring is a time-honored method of helping others achieve their goals. The skills of a mentor is that of someone who is able to assist others in setting goals, listening, offering advice, and providing moral support. Mentors come to you when you don't even think that they are there or you need one. Let me share with you a story about a man that I met when I was looking for a car. In 2015, while in Hawaii, I was looking for a car for my friend when her car broke down. I went out every day, even on weekends, looking for cars in lots, contacting people who had their cars listed on the neighborhood website. I contacted this guy who had a car on what we call the Schofield Lemon Lot, and I arranged to meet him. He had 3 cars on this lot. His name was Don Glover. He showed up and with the idea of selling me a car on that day. I showed up to the lot with the idea of buying a car that day. We began to talk and we learned a lot about each other. We had a lot in common. He was a retired military person, and we talked about our days in the military. Now, life transitioned back to our civilian life and our family time and our personal time, and that conversation went on for a little while. He told me about or how he had this mission to help people with their public speaking and with their leadership skills. He said that he worked with this company or in the community with a lot of youth in building youth leadership programs. My interest was perked at that time. After we talked for a long time, he told me a couple of things and how he could improve my public speaking and my leadership style and skills. I immediately, at the same time, I took him up on the offer because I believe that we strive for perfection by using our continuous, I would say, personal development. Don was a very determined man, and he helped me improve my skills and my expertise by identifying my strengths and my area of specialties. He helped me to identify the goals and my expectations, to organize my personal strengths. He was able to understand his strengths and his limitations. And if he wanted or really wasn't sure that he had an answer for a question or something that I had asked him, he turned to his mentor to guide him to increase his knowledge. Don was able to understand his goals and his strengths and how they were set and how they would serve me. And it also made it what we call a positive, successful foundation for a mentor. Don worked with me to tighten up my long-term goals. I did this by working on all the tasks that he has set for me to improve my overall mental health, my spirituality, and physically it assisted me. As Don my mentor, supported and encouraged me along my journey. He met me once, maybe twice a week sometimes, but it was always after work. And for several months, he assisted me with guiding me in accomplishing my tasks to meet my goals. He was always available for me, and when I did not take his time for granted, I did advance and I took advantage of his, what I would call, reception of my personal development. In one project, we got together and we got 4 community youth. The youth, they were involved in our gardening, and we showed them how to feel the earth and get in touch with Mother Earth and relax and collect their thoughts. They were all over the place, these kids. We did not preach to the youth. We worked shoulder to shoulder, and with them we cultivated and we grew a beautiful garden. Sweet papayas, bananas, peppers, cabbages, lettuce, and of course, pineapples. We became friends to each other and mentors for the youth. With all the youth that we worked with, together, we all worked in that garden. Don showed me how to relate my personal accomplishments to my professional accomplishments. And as I taught the youth and the young men how to turn raw earth into a source of economic life substance, which I mean this, what we call delicious foods, we worked together on several projects. That meant that we were meeting every weekend for 2 months, and we achieved our shared goal of working with the youth and our leadership program. Don explained to me that if you're going to be a mentor, you must also organize your motivations. Mentors need to be individuals that are selfless. Take time to evaluate the reasons for choosing to become a mentor and assess your expectations to be sure that you are a realist and you will benefit both you and the protege. Now I'm going to wrap this up, this little part here with Don, because I want you to know I'm going to circle right back to the beginning of the story with Don. The story where I was going to buy a car. I do want you to know, I don't want you to be leaving you hanging. I never bought the car from Don. I found something much more valuable just by talking to Don. Now, I also want to bring you to one other mentor. While in the military, I knew individual in the military. I had this person who was called Pete Phillips. It was Tech Sergeant Pete Phillips. I was new in the military and I had nowhere to turn. My first assignment was overseas. No family, no friends, no one to turn to. However, Pete, my mentor, took me under his wings. He made me understand the life of a military person, which I knew nothing at all about, being new in the military. He guided me with his strength He gave me the information that was necessary in what I needed to become an Air Force man. For a year and a half, Pete walked me through the process. He gave me his wisdom. He passed on his individual thoughts. And he shadowed me when I became aware of what I really needed to do and the process of being a military man. As I grew, I became the leader of someone else. Pete was still there to guide me through the process of being a mentor. In the military, they might call it a supervisor, but in order to be a supervisor, you need to know how to be a mentor, a leader, someone that will support you or that your protege and to help you benefit from the life within the military system. Mentors are very important people to everyone. I believe, as Karen said earlier, I talk up the program of mentorship. I believe that we should lead young people to this promised land by wisdom, using wisdom that we have to share, to guide them, making them special, making it realistic for them to benefit from our knowledge, our skills. As a mentor, you achieve when they achieve. We have so much value to offer those who are our proteges. Our proteges are those people who need us. So mentor, much more valuable than just talking up the story. Thank you for that moment, Karen. I give you, thank you.
That was fantastic. And if you have questions, please drop them in the chat because we want to pick Mitch's brains apart tonight. There was something that was once said to me about mentorship, and I want to run this by you because I want to know what your thoughts are. I was told that if you ever wanted to experience a time machine where you could get in a time machine and accelerate your learning and growth, it is available and it's available now. And that is by getting a mentor. That having a mentor is the equivalent of having a time machine on your journey. What do you think of that analogy?
I think that's a great analogy. What I believe that time machine is like in Toastmasters. We guide ourselves through a pathway, and through each path, it's a time that we have to make ourselves from one place to another place, from each path to the next path. Time machine. That's what I'm calling. I'm going to call pathways from now on our own time machine.
I'm glad you like that. So, what are the 3 things that you recommend someone looks for in a mentor? What are 3 skills or 3 facets of them that you think would help them really find that right person?
Knowledge and experience are the most valuable 2 things of a mentor, and then personality. That will make the 3 most valuable things for a mentor.
So I'm not allowed to be boring if I want to be a mentor?
Yes, you can be boring, but you still have to have some knowledge and some skills to go along with that. Your experience will allow you to overlook that boring personality.
I'm glad I'm making you smile. I would also like to say that one of the things that I've always found is it really does depend on who you are to who you mesh with. it is pointless for you to try and find a mentor that you struggle to talk with, because you will never get that growth and that experience. So you have to have that compatibility with that individual. Is there any limit to how many mentors someone should have?
No, because like I mentioned in my speech, a mentor could be a person that talks to you about your job. A mentor could be that teacher that assists you with your education goals. A mentor could be your community leader. No, there's no limit to mentors. As many mentors as you can put in your life, the better your life will become.
Okay, well, we have a couple of questions. You just answered one without me realizing it was a question, which is awesome. What is that greater thing that you found instead of the car?
What was the what?
Mary asked, what was the greater thing that you found instead of a car?
The greatest thing that I've found was Toastmasters. Don introduced me to Toastmasters. He asked, have you heard of Toastmasters? Yeah, my years around the universe, traveling around, I heard of Toastmasters, but I really didn't stop to find out what it was about. And then Don introduced me to Toastmasters. And Toastmasters was that great thing where you learn leadership skills, and also it was able to teach me a little more about public speaking. And yes, that's what the greatest thing I found about Toastmasters. That's why I'm here today.
I would agree with you. I absolutely love what I found in Toastmasters. And that mentorship thing is just amazing. I personally have several mentors. Each of them are skilled in a different aspect.
Yep.
So I learn from them for different things because I always want to surround myself with the best. And Toastmasters gives you that opportunity. You get to meet so many amazing people. We have a couple more questions. Oh, this is a tough one. Okay, you ready? Are you ready for the tough questions, Mitch?
Ready.
Okay. How would you tell someone who wants you to mentor that they may not be a good fit? How do you work through that not a good fit?
How do you work through the process of telling someone that they're not a good fit? Easily. You tell them that they're not a good fit. You ask them to position you or situate you with someone more that will fit you better. It's easy. Mentors, there's no way that we're going to not want you to succeed or progress. So we will guide you directly to someone that you could fit with.
I love that. I love the whole, might not be me, but I'll find someone for you. Because we never leave someone, I've always been taught, never leave someone hurting.
Never leave anyone. Oh, there's a thing about making people whole. As a mental health counselor, we try to, if you take that thought, we make people whole. Same thing with mentors. We make whole. Ours is to best interest of the person, what mentors is about.
Absolutely. That is just perfect. So here's another tough question for you. What is something that motivates you to stay in Toastmasters, maybe when you're having a moment of doubt?
I will answer the latter part of that question first. I never have a moment of doubt about Toastmasters. What makes me stay in Toastmasters is this. Once I became a Toastmaster, I met people from all over the world. The pandemic allowed me to meet more people all over the world. However, Toastmasters is something that allows you to grow at your own pace, and you always have someone supporting you. There's never a moment when you're not supported by your whole Toastmasters club, the district directors, your just the warmth of having a whole nation of people ready to just cuddle you up.
You're so right about this. The environment that we have is so supportive and so conducive to growth and learning that anyone can come in. We can find the right club, the right environment for someone, and then how they flourish and grow is this amazing thing to watch. And I absolutely love it. Oh, the questions are coming in fast and hard, Mitch. Are you ready? Buckle up. What is one? Oh, let's go with this one. How would you navigate conflict if you had someone, your mentor or mentee?
Conflict. Toastmasters, we teach conflict resolution as part of your Toastmasters education. You will direct that question or that information directly to that Toastmaster. Remember, Toastmasters is a warm, supportive environment. Therefore, any conflict is easily resolved by just talking to the person that you think you may have conflict with. And they will always bring in someone else that will be, as a VPE, Vice President of Education, if you don't have conflict with me, that is, then we always work it out so everybody is supportive. Just believe that.
Yes, that support is real. And especially when we have modules in Pathways that is specifically aimed to being supportive, giving feedback, accepting feedback, that growth is really there. Okay, another question. What is the one piece of advice you could give everyone today that you wish you would have given yourself earlier? Oh, they're going for the kill here.
Help someone become successful, and then you learn how to be successful. I've always thought about that and being successful. So I never had doubt when I came into Toastmasters because 100% I was supported. Like we just said, the evaluations were so, oh man, they were so supportive. When I got up and I was doing that shaky little first icebreaker, and not one person made a negative comment. They all supported me, and I thought to myself, that was not that good, but you couldn't tell them that. So never have doubt. Positive energy is all I've ever felt in Toastmasters.
Do you mind if I share a quick story, Mitch?
Go right ahead.
When I joined Toastmasters, I was terrified. I literally sat in the corner of the room, nodding, grunting, hardly saying a word. I wanted that wall, that chair to swallow me whole. I did not want to be there. I did not want to be a part of it. I was panicked. Oh my gosh, it was bad. It was terrible. I mean, it was not like this now. But I knew I had a story to tell. And I knew I needed to know how to tell it. I knew I needed to know how to grow. So I pushed through and I stayed. Do you know why I stayed? People took me under their wing as a mentor and made me their mentee. They provided me love. They provided me support. They provided me education. They provided me hope. And because of that, I have now celebrated 4 years in Toastmasters. And that very first meeting, I swear, if that hole had grown in the floor and swallowed me whole, I would have been like, yes, thank you so much. But it's mentors. So here's another question for you. What inspires you daily?
daily, that person is trying hard, aren't they? Daily.
I think these are amazing questions.
Uh, the benefit of being able to provide supportive information to people. I have this little mantra, as you would say, and it's like when you're Toastmasters has in the last 4 or 5 years have lifted me to have what I call positive energy because of the people surrounding me in the Toastmasters Club. They allowed me to have that positive energy. And so I came up with this mantra that inspires me every day. And it is positive energy will always activate elevation of the mind. And that's what inspires me every day.
Absolutely. Oh, we have a doozy on here. What is the next goal you are working towards that you find you need the help of a mentor with? How do you establish what to get a mentor for?
How do you establish and what to get a mentor for?
Yeah. How do you know what you need mentors for? How do you know that you should get one?
Everyone that comes into Toastmasters is given a mentor so they can assist you in walking through your pathways to success. A mentor is not just someone to watch over you and guide you through your pathway, but they're to assist you in going through the process of becoming a better Toastmaster. There's someone that has the experience, and therefore they can guide you and allow you to make all the right moves that you need to move. You tell them your goals, even though the mentor, he sits or she sits and they have goals and guiding you through the program, you inform them of your goals, and then they guide you through with your goals to where you want to go. That's the best thing and best reason to have a mentor.
I'm going to follow up to that question. How do you know when you're ready to be a mentor?
When you are ready to be a mentor is when you feel that you have established yourself with enough information that and knowledge that you can pass on to your next member. In other words, you have to find yourself willing and ready to provide assistance at any time someone calls you. When you've made that move, when you've got the knowledge and the experience, that's when you're ready to be a mentor.
Fantastic. Oh, another good one. Can the relationship be reciprocal? Can your mentor be?
Pardon me? Can your mentor be?
Your mentor be your mentee as well. So you mentor your mentee and your mentee mentor you.
Of course. That's how it works because everybody learns from everyone. My mentor, Don Glover, had been a Toastmaster since 1998. I came into Toastmasters in 2016. Don was guiding me through Toastmasters. At the same time, Don was learning how to become more, I would say I gave him information on how to be more positive in his own aspect of life. I taught him what I would say spiritually. We connected because he wanted to learn how to connect to himself more spiritually. And so I became his mentor as he was my mentor.
Oh, that's a fantastic answer. I love that. Now, last question for the night. And this is a really tough one. When can you tell if a certain mentor maybe is no longer benefiting you?
Only the person who is being mentored can tell whether or not that mentor is no longer benefiting them. You then talk to your mentor when he or she has given you their goals and you've achieved all of those goals and they can't come up with any new goals. I'm sure they will pass you on to another mentor that can assist you in achieving more goals. The mentor is not, like we said, we are supportive in Toastmasters. No one's hooked on, you got to be my mentoree or my protege until the very end. We pass people on up the ladder. I had someone who was, when I became a distinguished Toastmaster, I had someone who had been in Toastmasters for a year and a half who was the mentor to a new member. They had guided that member to that point, and that member was ready to move on. That person passed that protege over to me, and I became the mentor. So it's easy. We support, remind yourself, supportive individuals are Toastmasters. We support you 100%, and we are all open to learning as you learn.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, Mitch, that was a fabulous presentation. Thank you so much for sharing your journey from having a mentor to mentoring others and some of your other skill sets that you have grown. It has just been phenomenal. Now, one of the things that you can do, this is something I want to share with everyone, is Toastmasters is an amazing organization where you get that introduction from the very first meeting to mentorship. And as you develop, it grows. So we want to invite you to come and see a club. We want to invite you in to come and see us, to see how we can help you reach your goals in business, life, communication, and leadership. And all those details are at aztoastmasters.org. That is aztoastmasters.org. And we are more than happy to welcome you in. And thank you so much for attending this evening. Thank you, Mitch. It has been an absolute pleasure getting to hear from you tonight.
Thank you. And I want to say to those who you're speaking to that there are weekend clubs and also online clubs within AZ3.
Oh, absolutely. There's clubs every day of the week, most times, weekends online. And as we're starting to come through, we have hybrid clubs, and then we will also be back to in-person meetings. We want to see you. We want to help you. We want to see you achieve all your successes that you want to achieve. And I truly and honestly believe that Toastmasters is an amazing tool for that.
Yes. All right.
Thank you so much, Mitch. And thank you everyone for attending.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.